Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. But the spirit jumped on me to go into, this name God and so-called sweet Jesus, right? So this is an obsession that the world and most of our people got with this name God and Jesus. But what they're gonna say is, if it's printed in a Bible, that's what they're gonna run with. But it's a lot to learn, and you got to come out of ignorance. And some people that call themselves in the truth, right, still use these names, and we might use these names so you can be familiar with what we're saying. But the true names is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They're the names that we exalt. They're the names that we're constantly telling you about. Who you know as God, his true name is Yahweh. And it be many gods, right? I'm going to go into the word God. I'm going to show you the origin in his name Jesus. Or they'll say Christ. Or they have a little understanding. They'll say Yeshua. It ain't none of those names. And all those different names come with a different teaching. It comes with a different doctrine. Because you got a lot of you that say Yah. You got them Yah demons, got a completely different spirit on them than Yahweh. So let's get all into it. So this is the visual. When you say the name Jesus or you say the name Christ, this is the visual that comes up in your head. Or say somebody that used those names, like a family member, friend, whatever. There's a person you might bump into. And you so-called older black women are obsessed with this name Jesus. You cry to this idol. You know what I'm saying? When we tell you his name Yahweh Shai, you don't have no interest in it because you're so fucked up and brainwashed. And I'm just telling you how it is. And stubborn. A lot of our people don't want to change because they've been doing this their whole life. So let's get into this lesson. So this the visual that your girlfriend see in her mind, your wife, your child's mother, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, your nephew, your grandmother, your great grandmother, your grandfather, your uncle, when they say that name Jesus, or they'll say Christ. Because some jakes will call themselves being a little more sophisticated with it. They'll just say Christ to avoid saying Jesus because they know that's not the correct name. And another thing that comes along with this imagery is a so-called white man, right? When you say Yahweh Shai, that's associated with a so-called black man. The true imagery that it should be. So let's get all into this lesson. And this is a very, seem like a hard concept for our people to understand, because even when they say they in the truth, they still use those names, right? And we hate those names because them names, just because, and a lot of you don't know this, we get a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff. That's why we've been set up to teach them, right? So just because your Bible say God in the name Jesus, which I hate saying the name, but I gotta say it so you can understand. When you just because your Bible says it, you don't know how you don't know how the Bible got to its current format that you have today in English. So first off, you have to understand the Bible, the Old Testament and parts of the New Testament was originally written in Hebrew, and then the New Testament, as you know, was written in Greek, and then it went to Latin, then it went to some other languages, then you had the creation of the English language, and it went through these words been through a lot of hands, right before they got to the English. That mean things were changed around, things was taken away, the meaning of words was changed, the meaning of words was added to, and a lot of you say it's power in the name Jesus out of your stupidity. You J's got to be fucking stupid, man. A lot of you, I see why the Most High is gonna straight. You just missile food, as we like to say, because you not you serve no purpose. All right. Now the brothers and the sisters that watch these lessons, and let me say this too: if you watching this lesson, my lessons in general, please be learning, because you ain't watching these lessons just for entertainment. Because we know a lot of you jakes, the spirit be having me watch different stuff. And I noticed this. When we talk about the nigger woman, right, the so-called black woman, Hispanic and Native American, or just talk about women in general, them videos get a lot of hits. But when you go into the history, we might go into the book of the Maccabees. That's why a lot of times I don't do the more studious, in-depth lessons, because Jake ain't gonna watch them. they're not going to be able to keep up with them. Now, you do have some brothers and sisters that are very studious and will watch those lessons. So I think I'm going to do another channel, which would be more of my heavier content, more complex lessons. We'll see how the spirit works. But Ecclesiastes 1:1. And this is an apocrypha which they took out because the apocrypha has a lot of condemning information in it. And what they have said is the apocrypha is uncanon. It's uncanonical. But when you go into the 1611 King James Version Bible, matter of fact, let me get it right here. Where's it? Salakia. Right here. And when I open it up, and when I go to this section of Apocrypha, it's in there. So the Bible that you have is even watered down because they took the Apocrypha out, which is leaving. That's like reading a book and they take half the middle part of the book out, the pages out. You're not going to understand what's really going on. That's why the Jew or Greek trips you people up, because you don't have that understanding of those Gentiles were Israelites. Let's go here. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, prologue. Let's go right here. It says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew. So the same thing said, written down in your Bible, right? Because you have a translation into English, which is a very watered down version of the Bible where things have been changed, meaning the words are not the same. It's a lot of things that you have to go back into the source and get the truth from. It says, for the same things uttered, said, or written, right, in Hebrew, and translated into another tongue, even in your Bible. Matter of fact, let me go here. And this is the translation into English. Matter of fact, if I can't find it, I'm going to keep it moving. But it's in my Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary where they use the word translation. Translated. All right? For the same things translated into another tongue, the tongue he's speaking right now is English, have not the same force in them. So it don't have the same effect. It don't have the same power. It don't have the same potency so you can understand. And not only these things, but the law itself, it says, and the prophets and the rest of the books, right, have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. So what does this mean in layman terms? You got to go back into the Hebrew. And a good resource is to get tools. The Blue Letter Bible is a very powerful tool, but that's not the only tool you use. You have to use concordance and so on and so forth to get the interpretation. You got to submerge yourself in this truth. It's always something to learn, right? So I'm holding another book right here. This is my HarperCollins Bible Dictionary. So it has images in it. It has a lot of detailed detailed information that would give you more understanding in the truth. And I'm going to be going into lessons in this particular book and other books. That's why we go into books. So let's go here. And this is something that, our people in the world are completely ignorant to, right? They don't know the true names because what they come out their mouth is God and Jesus. They always saying them effing names, man. And I hate them names because they don't mean nothing. I'm going to show you the origin of the name God, and I'm going to show you the origin of the name Jesus, which means earth pig. Proverbs 30:4. It says, who has ascended to heaven and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has wrapped up the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? This is a very important thing. This is one of the most important things that you have to get correct. And what is his son's name? Because this will be a controversy, it's at the point in time that we're in. Because a lot of you bug-outs going to these weirdo names, but he got Yahweh is the true name of the Father, as you know, as God. And Yahweh Shai will be the true name of the Son. And everybody else got it wrong if you're not using those names. So this is a very important thing to understand. Let's go to this word God. I'm going to show you something. And that's why we go to the etymology. The etymology is another way of saying the origin. But the etymology, when you go into the word, it means truth in words, right? It says the English word God comes from the Old English word God, which comes from a Proto-Germanic word Gouda. You see this? So this is not even a Hebrew word, God. And they go to show you the folly of you people that's outside of this truth. You people ignorant, man. The people that's not understanding the truth are completely ignorant, and they should not be listened. Let me tell you another thing. If somebody trying to teach you and they use that name God and Jesus as the authoritative name, they fucking out of their mind. And you don't need to be watching them because they're false prophets. They're not coming in the true name Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. They are false prophets. The false teachers, whatever, add that in there too. It says right here. Matter of fact, look at this word Jesus. Because a lot of a lot of our women, man, they are totally submerged in this name. Because everything is followed by Jesus Christ. They'll say that. Jesus Christ. And they'll say in different ways too. Oh, Jesus. You people gone, man. And you love this name right here. Because this name right here is attached to this image right here. So you love the so-called, really in essence, you love the so-called white man, your slave master. And let me say this too. For some of my people that watch my lessons that might look like a so-called white person, if your ancestors, because it's not about skin color, it's an Israelite thing. You're going to have Israelites that look like so-called white people. You're going to have Israelites that look like so-called Chinese people. You're going to have Israelites that look like so-called Japanese people. You're going to have Israelites that look like so-called African people. So it's not about a black thing. That black and white narrative is all of the world. It's not of the truth. So either you're Israelite or not. And it don't matter how you look. And if you got a problem with that, because you got these black only Israelites, and yeah, I said black only because they blacked out in the mind. That's what they want to call themselves, right? So they black. Be black people. Go somewhere and croak over, right? But we're not black Hebrew Israelites either. We Hebrew Israelites by our nationality. And if your lineage, your line go back into the man Israel, you an Israelite. And if you can understand the truth, you are possibly the elect. Just what it is. To clear that out, because I know some of my people, some people that watch the lessons might consider themselves to be so-called white. You got to drop that madness and be able to move from that and grow. It says the name Jesus comes from the Hebrew word. They got Yeshua here. And they go to show you they know something that you don't know. They know this name Jesus ain't got no power. They know this name Jesus is a bunch of bullshit. But it's up to you to study to show yourself approved and find these things out and learn. Which is a contraction of the Yeshua, which is Joshua. Yahweh Shah, and as you know, as Joshua, had the same name. Like Joshua was not his real name. His name was Hawashah, and then it got changed to Yahweh, right? And by you knowing this will be put the correct imagery in your mind. These are all so-called black people you're reading about in the Bible. And a lot of so-called, a lot of Edomites, right? If they was really to understand this, they will walk out these Christian churches and denounce Christianity. And they'll go into some other kind of madness, but they don't know this because they under this scam too. The biggest lie that's ever been told in history. Let's go here. Oh yeah. The truth gonna stand. And you could get mad, you can scoff, you could not like it, you could be irritated. We don't give a fuck. And I hate to talk like this sometimes, but I'm a straight up kind of dude, man. Ain't got time for the nonsense. It says at the top, according to the Abrahamic religions, particularly Judaism, which Judaism is some new shit. We ain't got nothing to do with that. That's the small hatters. They created their own religion. It says, which they really believe in the Babylonian Talmud. That's the book of their religion, Judaism. It says God is considered to speak Hebrew. So if he spoke Hebrew, he got a Hebrew name. He didn't have no Germanic name, right? Let's go here. Then I'm going to close it out because I'm running out of time. But Acts 4:12 says, and there is salvation in none one else, for there is none other name under heaven given among men, Salakia, by which we must be saved. I can't emphasize that enough. So Yahweh and Yahweh Shah is your bridge, however you want to say it. That's your extension to your salvation. And if you don't know that, that means you're ignorant of that. And all these dead names, these stupid names that you Jays come up with, Elohim, Yahweh, Elohim, it ain't gonna get you nowhere. Oh, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Kal Halah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachat Kodash. Shalom.